As a specialist on AdTech and RTB markets, our new speaker has deep knowledge and experience with optimization of publishers' revenue in programmatic channels. Welcome on stage the General Manager for Central and Eastern Europe at Smart Adserver, Tomasz Musial.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad to be here in front of such a big and great audience. Actually, my former speakers were a little bit faster in their time, so I was promised that I have a little bit more than 7 minutes, which was scheduled, so I don't need to be in rush. Let me introduce myself. My name, as Plamen introduced me, my name is Tomasz, and I'm responsible for Smart Adserver company in Central and Eastern Europe. We are a French company from origin, but acting as a global player with offices in several offices. What I would like to tell you today, it's about changes that we've noticed for several last years when the advertisers changed their strategies. How do they buy the traffic? How do they spend their money? Actually, some of the information were given by my colleagues from Criteria and Sociomantic. So the advertisers are looking for optimization to receive the maximum return on investment. So the way they are buying the traffic dependently is that performance or perhaps branding or traffic differs. But on the other side, we have publishers, which are the owners on the inventory, which know the users, and they're able to offer the inventory and the traffic to the buying side. Advertisers are optimizing the way they're buying inventory, which is totally okay, and which is totally fair, because everybody works on optimization. But how should publisher react? RTB appeared on the market, or programmatic appeared on the market as the answer for the publisher how to monetize so-called unsold inventory. No matter how publisher is good in terms of sales, there's always some of the impression left unsold. But what does it mean unsold inventory? Should it be wasted, or perhaps remnant one? Or maybe should it be sold as the cheapest possible price, because always even a little bit of money is better than nothing. So while programmatic and RTB in terms appeared, publishers has developed several strategies how to optimize their remnant inventory. First one is a strategy called waterfall. In several countries, when we are meeting our business partners, it's called cascade. What does it mean? Publisher is offering their inventory one by one in step-by-step model to several buying partners. So, for example, now first impressions go to so-called guaranteed sales. Then, if it's not sold, it is passed back to direct sales, but not guaranteed. If it's still unsold, it is passed back to buying part like SSP from programmatic world. But SSP is also not able to buy everything. A good introduction to how does it look iPhone web made. So the real fill rate or the real demand depends on many factors: floor price, momentum demand, block list, and many, many other factors. At the end, it might go to several SSPs, and if it's still unsold, so at the end, publisher, in most of the cases, filling up this empty impression with so-called auto-promo campaigns. This system, to be honest, is very inefficient, because if you're passing by this impression between several sources, it takes time. So time of ad delivery might be quite long. Also, it's quite wasteful, because publisher is always losing part of the impression on every of these steps by passing by. It might be a penny here, it might be a penny there, but those pennies sum up, and at the end it might be a really relevant sum, really relevant money. So as the answer to waterfall strategy, a new solution called header bidding appeared. It is quite advanced technique when publisher offers its empty impression or unsold inventory or impression on the first place to several buying partners, like several SSPs, which are bidding for this impression against, for example, direct sales. So two assumptions are made. This is real auction between several sources, and buying part, like Criteo or Sociomantic, which had the presentation before, have an access to so-called first look impression. Header bidding is quite well known with different names. It might be pre-bidding, it might be advanced bidding, it's also called tagless integration, which is not totally true because it requires tags, no matter. But it also is called holistic yield management, which I do not agree, and I will tell you why. Definitely has some advantages, like it drives up revenue for the publisher, definitely is better, drive up yield, but also brings some threats. If you are the publisher and you are taking about the user, and definitely you are, there's a threat of page loading time, there's a threat of data leakage, there's a lowering of user experience, and so on and so on. So the question is whether advantages are better of disadvantages. And when I told you about this truly yield holistic management or holistic approach, why, in my opinion, it's not truly? Because taking only a bidding price in one moment, so taking only the highest price into comparison, it's not everything. Because if you are the publisher, you have some guaranteed volumes, you have some guaranteed campaigns sold, you have some partners you need to fulfill the guarantees. So not taking every parameters into account makes this optimization imperfect. In our opinion, the answer for the publishers or ad network or whoever who is managing the inventory and is taking care about the monetization of the inventory is so-called programmatic ad server, which takes into consideration all of the factors I told you before. It's quite funny because when programmatic appeared on the market many, many years ago and was delivered to the market as the solution for the publisher, how to monetize the inventory, how to sell empty impression, I was told so many times that Adserver is dead, that no one will need Adserver anymore. I do not agree with that because Adservers made a makeover by integrating Adserver ad tech technology with supply-side platform, SSPs. And having information from Adserver about real number of impressions and inventory of the publisher, they are able to take all of the parameters I told you into account. So guaranteed volumes, private deals, automated, everything you made the guarantees to buying sites like media houses. And it brings really a great opportunity because at this moment publisher has really full control over their mission. This kind of the programmatic ad server allows to bring holistic reporting. Really huge opportunity of monetization, but also optimization of all sales channel for the publisher and maximization of the revenues. Thank you very much. That was everything. If you have any questions, please shoot. Please. Okay, I will repeat the question.
So it seems that something is missing. Like what he said about the floor. What happens when some publishers decide not to sell under the floor, and they decide to, for example, advertise other content so that they can generate more impressions, or they decide to, for example, to give it to charity. What happens in these two cases?
It's still possible. It's still possible because if you are receiving this kind of a full stack ad tech platform, combination of Adserver and SSP, sorry, probably not all of you have heard the question. The question was that something is missing. What about if publisher is deciding not to monetize all of the impression, right? Giving to charity or something. You are able to do that. This is all your inventory. So this waterfall system has the idea like to find final monetization or the impression at the end, whatever, from SSP or from your auto promo campaigns. But if you have the combination between Adserver and SSP, and if you are managing all of your yield, you can choose from several sources. And if there's nothing to choose because of the floor price or something, this is always your decision. Because if you are receiving this kind of full-stack AdTech platform, from company like ours, we are only technology provider. This is only your decision what you are doing with your inventory. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you very much. That was so huge pleasure.